So you have a handout. This one's going to get a little bit deeper down the rabbit hole. I'm going to keep going, keep going, keep going. It's important that you focus on this. We're going to get into a lot of belief instruction now. We have two more major concepts to cover before we split. We may run a little bit late, but we don't want to run very late. So as soon as we're done, we'll all split and do our thing. So 10 things you'd like to improve on is what is at the top of your list right now. What I want you to do is I want you to name off 1 or 2 words max for each one, 10 things you'd like to improve on. It can be very specific. It can be about social dynamics. It can be about success. It can be about whatever you want. Just make sure that it is, they're very short, and you have 10 down your list. Go ahead. You're going to have 5 minutes to do this, so you don't have a whole lot of time. Just whatever flows out, things you'd like to improve on in general. Go ahead and get started now to the sounds of this soft music. So the things that you have written down right now are things that you'd like to work on. What I want you to do, I want to hear just the first couple from a couple of people. Eric, let's start with you. What were your first couple that you had written down?
Record, if it closes, date holds.
Okay. All PUA stuff. You a J? Yep. You are. You're a judger. That's okay. You're a judger. You have structure.
I just have high hold. I really don't.
No. You're looking at it through your own lenses right now. I'm seeing it through different lenses. I'm seeing it through a perceiver. So where for you that seems very natural, for me it seems like something that is outside of my reality.
Right.
Like the goal setting, because you're as a judger, you're naturally drawn to a structured approach to meeting women.
Right.
So that's why it's funny, because as we move on, you'll confirm more and more and more that you are right now. These are your lenses that you're looking through. This is your type that you are right now. You are, the reason why you came up with those specifically is because you're an ENTJ. ENTJs need structure. You're an extrovert, so you're going to want to talk a lot. Your day stuff is typically, introverts are typically better at that, at day game. Extroverts are typically better at night game. So the things that you want to work on work within your system. Does that make sense? So that's why I was kind of like, it's just funny to see, and I can see everyone's type and you guys can't see it, so it's just really funny that you guys are like, blah! That's exactly what it is, yes?
I feel like I'm much better at day game than night game when I'm a receiver.
No, it's introvert or extrovert.
What?
That's what I'm talking about. Introverts are typically better at day game. Extroverts are typically better at night game because they gain more willpower, more energy. Extroverts do when they're around people. Introverts gain more will and energy when they're alone or in very, very, very small groups. And they have more energy in the morning. I'll talk about that in a little bit. Okay, so let's move on to a perceiver. Kevin, what do you have down? Wait, you're not a perceiver. Yeah, you are. Perceiver, sorry. What do you have down for your first couple of qualities?
I want to go to bed early and wake up early.
Okay. Do you see the difference? Okay, what's another one?
I'd like to eat healthier.
Okay, cool. Big picture stuff, kind of. Things that you don't really know how to do yet. You don't have a system built around them. Let's go to another one. Mel, what do you have written down?
First one is my belief system.
Okay. What's what we're working on right now?
Dominance,
Dominance.
escalation,
Okay.
rapport.
Okay. Matt, what do you have down for your first couple?
Non-judgmental,
Mm-hmm.
self-worth, and expressive.
Okay. Great. All right, so what I want you to do is I want you to rewrite these in the past tense. And the reason why I'm saying this is because your conscious mind programs your subconscious mind. Your conscious mind programs your subconscious mind. This means that everything you think in sentence form in your head, extroverts are really bad at this because we always think in a conversation in our heads. Everything's a conversation. So we tend to have negative self-talk a lot because we're extroverts. So that's what we do. So if we're hard on ourselves, we repeat it in our heads over and over again. You suck at this. You suck at this. So your conscious mind programs your subconscious mind. I learned this from a first-generation Dale Carnegie instructor. Brilliant, brilliant guy who I had the opportunity of learning from. His name's Howard Tangler. It's a very well-known concept. It works very well. He gave us a system for this, and I'm going to teach it to you right now. Because your conscious mind programs your subconscious mind, again, everything that you say or think in your head in sense, form, or say out loud programs your subconscious mind to believe and make a belief out of that statement. So your conscious mind programs your subconscious mind. And of course, that means you want to always think and say positive things, of course. But we don't do that all the time. So what we have to do is we have to start systematically stopping ourselves from creating new problems. And the way that we do that is we say and think all of our challenges, the things that we think we need to improve upon, we say and think all of them in the past tense. Judgers especially are going to have this is very important for judgers. And the reason why is because judgers almost always put positive feelings in the future. Someday, I'll get it, someday. The future, everything's good. Now, everything sucks. In the future, everything's good. And as they move forward, it's always a step ahead of them. That happiness is always one step ahead of them. In order to give yourself permission to experience the moment, experience the positive stuff, you have to begin by removing what's occupying your current state, your now state. Right now, you're currently occupied by your challenges, the things you need to work on. So what I want you to do is I want you to put all your challenges in the past tense. For example, if I were to say, oh, I'm really bad at soccer, then even though it may not feel right to say this, I may feel like I'm lying. Do it anyway, because again, your belief system is going to try to stop you from saying things that it believes aren't true. And you have to challenge it first. We'll get into a system and a way to do this in a moment. But if I think I'm really bad at soccer, instead of saying I'm really bad at soccer, I'm going to say I used to be very bad at soccer. Even if 2 seconds ago I was really bad at soccer. It's still in the past. That keeps me in the moment. If you're a judger, you've probably never done this before in your entire life because it doesn't make logical sense for you to do it. Perceivers are more apt to live in the moment because we are constantly taking in information. So perceivers won't have as much of a hard time doing this. But if you're an extrovert judger, you've got an extra reason to pay attention right now. You always want to make sure you put your challenges in the past tense. So what I want you to do is I want you to rewrite everything you wrote down in your list of 10. If you have to flip the paper over, you can do it. And I want you to say, I used to, and then the challenge. I used to be bad at soccer. Write it down for all of them. You have a couple minutes to do this. As you write it down, I want you to really take in how uncomfortable this feels to do, how wrong it feels. And really understand that that is your belief system trying to protect you from creating an unnecessary new belief. An unnecessary new belief. Go ahead and do that, guys. You have a couple minutes to do that. Okay. How many people during this process felt like it was weird writing it this time? I know you didn't, Adonis, but raise your hand if you felt weird writing it still, like it wasn't really true. Try this. Look at the person next to you in the eyes. Don't blink. Don't blink and say the first thing on your list. Look at the person next to you in the eyes. Pair up. Don't blink. You guys can pair up. So when you say these things out loud, and you say, I used to, you're going to feel one of two things. You're going to feel like, no, that's not true. Or you're going to feel, that's really relieving to finally say that and believe it. If you create a belief system and you're done, it will have been, you'll have the, this feels good to finally say this and really get that done. If not, I notice that most people are doing what's called overcompensation body language. When someone's lying to you and they don't believe what they're saying, they do a lot of things, little triggers that they give away. One is they show you their palms, like this, a lot. Because they want you to trust them. That's what we do to people when we trust them. Hey, trust me. Here's a gift. I'm vulnerable. Here are my palms and my wrists. Same thing. But also blink on certain words that make what their statement or what they're saying a lie. I did not eat all that cake. No way. They do that. They also shake their head yes while they're talking. Especially if they're saying something negative. Yeah, I didn't do that. Yeah. Trying to convince themselves and trying to convince the person they're talking to. A lot of you guys didn't realize you were doing that. If you are doing that, it's your ego trying to stop you from changing. It's your ego trying to stop you from making these beliefs true. And it will work. It will stop you from making these beliefs true until you let go completely and you allow it to happen without these triggers of compensation. You do a lot of other things too, but I'm not going to get into that right now. There's a lot of body language reading tomorrow, so we'll get into that then. So overall, in order to hack your beliefs, your belief systems, and ultimately your confidence, you're going to have to do what seems counterintuitive. It's going to feel wrong, and you're going to do it anyway because you haven't created a belief system. I'll talk about what your belief systems do to your emotions probably, I think, tomorrow. It's not in here. Oh, yeah. It's tomorrow. Let's continue for now. So anytime you think from now on in this class and outside of this class, when you're on any company, always strive to catch yourself and turn all of your challenges from the present tense to the past tense. Always. I used to, and anything that's positive, put it in the present tense. I am blank. If it's good, if you consider it to be good, always put it in the present tense. If you consider it to be negative, always put it in the past tense. Forever and ever, the end. This is one of the most powerful concepts you'll ever learn in your entire life to control your belief systems. It detaches the roots of your belief systems that don't work anymore, your negative belief systems. There are two types of belief systems. There are core beliefs and there are social beliefs. Core beliefs and there are social beliefs. Core beliefs are rooted. They have lots of other beliefs growing off of them. They're connected deep. They were there for a long time. Core beliefs are the hardest and most painful and elusive to remove. They move. They get out of the way. No. Your ego is going to be protecting them like a guard. Your core beliefs create your lenses through which you see the world. Your core beliefs create your lenses through which you see the world. They create your insecurities and your confidence. Negative core beliefs create insecurity. They're insecurity factories. Positive core beliefs create confidence. They're your confidence factors. Social beliefs are surface beliefs. They're arguable. They're easier to change. Not necessarily easy, but easier. They don't affect your emotions unless they are attached to a core belief. So if I believe that I'm smart, and I believe that Maslow is the most brilliant psychologist of all time, I will only argue and stick to my guns that Maslow is the most brilliant psychologist of all time if it means that if I believe he's not or I'm wrong, that I'm not smart. That's what I'm really arguing. I'm not really arguing my social belief, my small belief that's rooted on the outside. I'm arguing to save the thing it's connected to, the thing that is so deep within all of my actions and body language and emotions. That everything that I do is connected to, I'm fighting to save that thing. Even if it's bad, we want it. We don't want to change it because it makes our structure. If we don't have that belief, even if it's negative, we believe that our entire life's going to fall apart. And it might. It might fall apart. It might. But you're losing nothing except the parts that you don't want. It's scary, though. So Kevin's going to give you guys a handout now. It's a system for creating a new core belief. This is gold. Please take this exercise very seriously. As we go through this handout, I'm going to have you put in an example for each one, a real-life example out of your own life. The 5 stages to creating a core belief system are challenge, accept, proclaim, feedback, submit. I'm going to write that on the board. The 5 stages for creating a new core belief are challenge, what are they? Challenge, accept, feedback, no, proclaim. Sorry, it's right here. Proclaim, feedback, and submit. Okay. Challenge. Challenging a core belief is what we just did. We challenge a core belief. That's one step to creating a new core belief. The first step is challenging it. That's where you take a concept and you get comfortable putting it in the past tense. You get comfortable putting a concept in the past tense, and that is challenging it. You can also try to use logic. All my thinkers in the house, all my T-types in the house, can use logic to realize that your old belief system isn't true or isn't working anymore. The way that you do that is you go, well, is there any evidence to the contrary? Is there any evidence to the contrary that maybe I had one example where this belief isn't true? Let's say that my belief is that I'm unattractive. Well, has there never been a woman that's ever been attracted to me? No, there's been women that have been attracted to me, but maybe they're all unattractive women. Okay, well, that's a different belief. That's a belief that only unattractive women are attracted to you, right? Okay, that's a different thing entirely. That means that some women are definitely attracted to you. Does that mean that you're attractive? Well, yeah, technically, to some women you are. Okay, so it's just as likely that you are attractive as it is that you are not attractive. Just as likely that you are attractive as it is that you're not attractive. Thinkers are getting mind fucked right now because this is the way to create a new core belief system using your logic. Feelers already know how to do this. Feelers are already there. So, since it's just as likely to be true as not true, if you're a thinker, you have to decide and realize that, well, you don't know the answer. You don't know. You don't know the truth. So now we're going to explore the truth. Now that we've got to that point where your challenges are in the past and it could go one way or another, you're going to take the next step. That's called accepting your new belief system, your new belief. Now, this is the step that the entire concept of The Secret is trying to describe to people. All of The Secret is just focusing on this one step, and maybe this one. But that's it. Affirmations. Affirmations. Do affirmations. Think positive things, and positive things come to you. That's what The Secret says. Well, the logic behind that is that when we accept an identity internally with a belief system, then we allow ourselves to fulfill that belief. That's what The Secret does for you. The Secret says if you have a bunch of affirmations and you say a bunch of things that you want to be as if they were true already, then they will manifest themselves. And it's true. It will happen. It will manifest itself, but it won't become a new belief system unless you finish this process. It will just manifest itself. And you'll be like, great. And you could get caught in something if you don't really accept your beliefs. So you have to accept your belief personally. Whenever you say it to yourself and you feel like, yes, I'm an attractive person. I used to look in the mirror and go, I'm attractive. I look at myself and watch my reactions. I'm attractive. I'm an attractive guy. And I try to like say it in a bunch of different ways that were nonchalant. I'm an attractive guy. I'm an attractive guy. You know, catch myself off guard. And finally, I got to where I was like, you know what? I am an attractive guy. I feel comfortable saying that. I'm an attractive guy. I know that in my head, but it's not real yet. It's not real. It still feels like, well, I don't know how everyone else feels about that. I think I'm attractive. That'll only get you so far. The next step is to proclaim your belief. You have to start telling people that you identify with this new thing. You have to. I am attractive. That belief is the most powerful belief you can use to create attraction with women across your entire life, your entire lifestyle. If you could only change one belief while you're here, change the I am attractive belief. Create that new belief. I am attractive. It helps me just to go, I'm just an attractive guy. That's just the way it is. It's just the truth. It's how it is. It's out of my control. I can't help that I'm attractive. I can't help that women find me attractive. Whenever you say this to somebody, you're going to be really nervous probably, especially if you've never done this before, because it's like the whole world is resting on their shoulders. So the first person you say it to needs to be somebody that knows you really well. That's not going to be like, no, you're not, and try to knock you down just because they're upset, you know? Because if you do, guess where you're going? Unattractive land for a long time. For a long, long time, because you're not going to come out of that for a while. So make sure you start with your closest, most trustworthy core group of friends or people that you admire, that you respect, and that aren't going to try to jab you. And then work your way out. When the people who don't normally believe in positive things in people, who always complain, disagree with you, and everyone else who's positive in your life agrees, you'll know that you'll have the feedback. Which is the next step. You'll have the feedback to be able to really, truly accept this belief. So basically, what you're going to be doing here is you're going to be proclaiming the belief to someone else. And whenever you proclaim the belief, you're going to get feedback from them as whether or not they believe it's true. If that person has always been honest with you, and you got to be very careful with this in the beginning especially, it's like you got to tiptoe. When you get there, you'll get more and more and more comfortable saying it. And then after you have a whole bunch of feedback, enough feedback for you to believe this is how it is, this is the truth, and you submit the belief, it's like you hit the enter key, and it runs itself. And after that, every time someone says something to the contrary, your natural reaction is going to go, you're wrong, not me. You're wrong, not me. I'm attractive. If you don't think I'm attractive, I don't know what's wrong with you, but something's definitely wrong with you and not me. It will take an overwhelming amount of evidence to the contrary in order to change your mind. That's how come you know you've created a new belief system. The concept here is if your belief, let's say attractive, has things that you've labeled off of it, qualities that you believe are attractive in a person, and that's what makes someone attractive to you. If you skip the challenge phase of this, then you will run into this problem where you have lots of different qualities that you can't seem to get. If you find one piece of evidence to the contrary, it's not true. If you find one piece of evidence to the contrary anywhere in the world, it's not true. So if you believe that what makes someone attractive is, let's say, a full, luscious head of hair, which I'm glad is not the case, just for my own sake.
That's what you believe.
Yeah. If you believe that's true, if you find one person that women find attractive without that quality, then you've challenged the belief. If you ignore all of those people and only take the people who have that quality into account, then you will forever be stuck in this loop. You'll get to the end and it won't work because you skipped the first step. Instead of truly challenging the belief system in the beginning, what you would have done is said, I want this thing, let's move. Really go-getters end up doing this. They don't end up challenging the belief system first, they end up just going for it. You know? And a lot of people in The Secret, kind of people, do this too. Because they think, oh, I want this. I have this. I have $1 billion. And then they're like, let me check my bank account online. Nope. Okay, negative affirmation.
Like a good one for that.
Well, that's a really good one. And what Jonathan's saying is that if you have let's say, stipulations for what it means to be attractive. You have to water those, not water, distill those down into what is without a doubt, makes a man attractive. So if you're going to say, I'm attractive, your beliefs are going to associate that to everything you think attractive is. That's very important. Thank you for bringing that up, Jonathan. Appreciate that.
I think to your point, if I can add my own thoughts based just on what you said,
Mm-hmm.
you know, if you live in an absolute world where there are absolute values of X, Y, and Z
Mhm.
are absolutely attractive, then, you know, then that is what will be your reference point.
Right.
But, you know, we've all dated women who found us attractive in various ways.
Right.
Even when we didn't have qualities that matched up to what we might perceive as,
Right.
you know, what we need to be attractive.
Right. And if you ask a
So I
woman
think
too,
the-
like,
the-
you know,
The idea is you adopt a relativistic notion of what is attractive. You
Right.
say, there are people who, you know, not everybody's, you know, it's basically an easy way of saying, not everybody's going to find me attractive, but some will. And, you know, and to those people I am, to myself I am.
right. And that, I was going to say something just now, but I forgot what it was. But that was a good point, though. And I have, in the beginning, if you're trying to create a core belief system, and you start to get feedback to the contrary, then your core belief system that you're creating, the one you've accepted, isn't specific enough. Good?
I think it has a lot to do with the universality of those values. Like, it can be very difficult for you to believe that you are attractive to everybody.
Right.
But it's very easy to believe that you are attractive to a certain number of people.
Right.
That's part of qualification.
Right.
Just understand that those that don't find you attractive don't have very good taste.
Right, exactly. And that's the belief. The belief is that women who have good taste find me attractive. Is that a good belief to create? Yes. Now, what do you do when you do that? You become a judger, and you isolate people. So it's hard to build rapport. That's a really natural belief for a judger, a sameness judger, to come up with. And that's what you are, aren't you?
Yeah.
I mean, because what you're doing is you're going, well, if you have good taste, here's my qualification, then you like me, you know? So, you know, and again, judges are going to have, specifically are going to have, not a hard time, but are going to have a very interesting experience going through this process because it's so simple for judges, generally speaking, to go, this is how it is, this is how it is, this is how it is. And you have to really challenge that as a judge, challenge your natural way of thinking in order to get a new belief system. So judges typically have a very hard time creating new belief systems if they don't have a process, but guess what? This is a process for creating a new belief system. It's the most beautiful thing ever because it appeals to judges who like processes, which is great with people who need it, you know. But you're an options person, so you're going to have to tweak this a little. If you're an options person, you're going to want to tweak it a little and make it your own. You can tweak it wherever you want. I don't care, as long as it works. And if you are a procedures person, just do as is. Procedure judges, just do as is and it'll work. So what I want you to do is I want you to let's do this. I want you to create a new belief system.
Did you talk about submit?
Oh, submission is just whenever you get sufficient feedback. Whenever you get sufficient feedback, let me tell you about one more trap. The skipping the challenge trap is one. Another trap is skipping acceptance. If you skip and you don't truly accept your new belief system, you hit what's called an infinite feedback loop, which is right here. A lot of guys, especially who get into the process of learning about bettering themselves with women, don't accept that they're attractive. They never do personally. So they're out to prove to themselves that they're attractive. And the only way to prove to themselves that they're attractive is to get a more attractive woman, to get a woman who is taller, to get a woman who is blonder, bigger tits, something. We want something. Who's a model? Oh, I got a model. Okay, whatever. I don't really want models. I want this and this and this. And we're feeding the monkey. We're feeding the monkey. It's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger on our backs. That's what it's doing. So what we do is, in order to break an infinite feedback loop, you have to accept the belief first. You have to look yourself in the mirror and say, I am blank. I'm attractive. Women find me attractive. Generally speaking, women find me attractive. I love that one. That's one I use. Generally speaking, women find me attractive. So I have to keep proclaiming a new belief and keep getting feedback that's not good enough for me if I skip it. It's never good enough, never good enough, never good enough. If you've been in this industry at all, ever working professionally, like some people in the room, you know people like this, and you probably were this person at one point, because it happens to the best of us. I know I've been there. And then afterwards I was like, oh, I'm attractive. Duh. And then I was fine. But it took a long time. I just recently saw myself doing this on a really, really, really meta level. Like my entire life was revolved around an infinite feedback loop. And I just realized it a few days ago. And it was like one of the biggest eye-opening experiences of my life. So what I want you to do is I want you to pick one belief from your list. I want you to challenge it. I want you to accept it. When you go through this process mentally, challenge it, and I want you to write it down. Accept it, write it as is. Proclaim it. You're going to turn to the person next to you and you're going to say it out loud. They're going to give you feedback. When someone tells you their belief, if it's like, I'm a flying donkey, go, you don't look like a flying donkey. Don't go, you're wrong. Or just go, is that really true? Are you really a flying donkey? If it's not completely true or too outlandish or unbelievable for you, with your super perceptive powers, especially the perceivers, then tell them. Tell them, hey, that seems a little bit off, right? You just need to hone it down a little bit and keep doing it until you've come up with a belief system that works for you. Do it right now. I want it to be as quick as possible, so try not to dick around too much. You have about 5 minutes to do this, and I'm going to stop you. Go ahead. So we have one more tiny thing to talk about, and then we're going to talk about field work for tonight. Let's talk about willpower. One thing that Evan said in his one of his programs that I took that I thought was really brilliant is that willpower depletes over time. Willpower depletes over time. When you wake up in the morning, you've got a full bar of willpower. As time goes by, you start to lose it, trying to convince yourself not to do certain things, not to eat junk food. It takes a lot of willpower to do that. You know, not to run a red light. I really want to do this, but I'm not going to. Willpower. To go approach a woman. I don't want to, but I'm going to. I'm going to do it anyway. Got that willpower. But as time goes on, your willpower depletes. When you energize again, extroverts, you build willpower. When you talk to people, you build more willpower. Who do you think gains the most from an AA meeting? Extroverts do. Why? Because they get more willpower by talking about it. That's why they gain more. Introverts lose willpower by talking. So introverts need a different strategy. They did most of their willpower building on their own and in the morning. So, willpower is like a muscle. It's like a muscle because if you work it out, it will get stronger. It responds to exercise. Responds to exercise. What you have to do is deplete your willpower and then take a nap. Take a break. And anyway, whatever that means. If you're an introvert, be alone. Recharge. If you're an extrovert, go talk to somebody. Deplete your willpower and then replenish it. And keep doing this, and as you do it, your willpower muscle will get stronger and stronger and stronger, and then eventually you will have enough willpower to do everything you wanted to do during the daytime. If you're an introvert and you want to know how to be good at going to bars and meeting women, to be an extrovert, like to be more extroverted, you're going to have to get to the point where you have so much willpower that even at nighttime, you haven't run out yet. Exercise your willpower. You'll need a lot more willpower as an introvert than you will as an extrovert in order to do that. But extroverts are going to have a really hard time pulling up the willpower to shut up, to stop talking, because it drains us when we're alone. So, ultimately you want to be able to drain or to pull energy from both sides. It's a skill to pull energy from both sides. When you're alone, to pull energy, and when you're talking, to pull energy. I figured out a way to do it for me. That's just who I am. I'm an extrovert. Normally I want to talk all the time. But I figured out that if I center myself, anytime you guys see me doing this, I'm centering myself for a minute. I don't like getting into frou-frou stuff, but it helps me center. I used to do Kung Fu. We had to center ourselves too, and that I could do an entire day of Kung Fu without talking to anyone. Why? I didn't in the beginning. I couldn't, because I knew how to replenish myself without talking. Now I would just be calm and in the moment, right now. Just experience it, and it'd be a break from work, be a break from talking. I would go, this feels good. I would appreciate the feeling instead of going, who can I talk to about this? Because of that, I stopped interrupting people, pretty much. I mean, I do a little bit now, but not very much anymore. What were you going to say, Sonny? Anyway. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting Cal.
Interrupting.
Moo! Interrupting Cal. Nobody? Nobody got that?
Only I got it.
Interrupting Cal who? Moo! So, I figured out a way to replenish my willpower. That one just hit Joe. Oh, thinking of other animals. Okay, well then. I just give up on that one. I'm glad I didn't invent that one. That would be a blow to my confidence. So, if you don't use your willpower, giraffe, interrupting giraffe. Interrupt giraffe who? I'm tall. I can't really interrupt.
I don't even know what they say.
They don't say anything.
Say, nah.
I like how unreasonable your thought process is. Let me look at you one more time here. Okay, I'm just gonna remember that pattern, so I can think of
Yeah, exactly.
of what
Actually, singing about their
I can understand every British person as this pattern now. So if you don't use your willpower, if you don't use your willpower at all, it will atrophy. It will get weaker and weaker and weaker, and you won't have any. You will get better over time if you practice with it and build your willpower. You have to talk. If you're an introvert, talk until you're tired. If you're an extrovert, shut up until you get anxious. And keep doing it until you can go longer and longer and longer. Joe, I just don't understand. I don't understand, but I do. I understand you, and I get why that's funny, because I think it's funny too. I just don't understand how you thought of it. ESFJ. I don't know what it is about this one. That just seems like, I don't know.
Shut up until I get more energy. What?
No, this is don't shut up until you get more energy. Keep talking. So, because of that, because willpower depletes over time, you want to use your strongest willpower to do the most daunting tasks right after you get up. Who's an introvert? Raise your hand again. Day game. Day game for you. Day game for you. You're doing that. Extroverts, night game, of course. The reason why is because you're not going to have any willpower to approach at night unless you really, really work out your willpower. Because it's going to deplete you, or unless you're right on the borderline between extrovert and introvert. I put way to recharge as an introvert question mark, and then I put nap time exclamation point on here to remind me. I just thought it was a really silly way of saying that. But yeah, the point is that if you are about to go out tonight and you're an introvert, I suggest highly that you take a nap before you go out.
Exactly me.
Yeah.
If I get enough sleep and I go out, I'm fired.
Yep.
And it's extroverts just keep talking.
Yeah, we get more. I'm just going to talk on my break, in between. And I'm going to set everything up. And I'm going to try to practice learning how to draw energy as an introvert, of course. And that's what I'm going to do. But I suggest that if you're going to need a lot of willpower, go out, recharge in whatever way you need to, And then remember that tomorrow morning you're going to want to do your most daunting tasks. If you want to get in shape, always work out in the morning. Always work out in the morning. If you want to get a business plan put together, work on it every morning as soon as you get up. Every morning. Don't start doing a bunch of other shit and then push it off until your willpower is depleted with crap you didn't need. Do whatever you need to do that's the hardest to do first thing in the morning. I'm going to explain, actually I'm going to answer just a couple of questions. Who has a question, raise your hand, about today? And I know you do, I see that. Who has a question about today besides Milton, as well as Milton, that I can answer now? Is it anyone?
I just want to make a comment. Can I make a comment?
Sure, yeah.
It's just a lot of information to take in, you know?
Uh-huh.
To really like have it connect with me, but have it connect with me and move along with it.
Mhm.
It's just a lot to take in.
That's why I got you the live scribes. You don't miss a beat, because I want you to be here now, you know? You're just going to have to listen to it.
Mine died.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
There.
Oh, no way.
Dead.
Holy crap, guys.
Dead.
Mine's died like just recently, so it's good.
Okay, well, if it died recently, or if it died a ways back, I'm going to put you guys all on a group together online. Have you heard of Basecamp? Anybody?
Yeah.
I'm going to start a Basecamp project and invite all you guys, and you can post your notes and share them on there, and they'll be clickable and everything, just like your regular notes. So if your pin dies at some point, okay, you know. But also, I mean, get what you can from where your pin was alive and kicking, alive, and then you know, if it does die, there's always going to be, it will be a DVD set after this program gets edited down, so that'll be around. So don't stress too much, but
The concept about amazing stuff in the hallway, where'd you get that from?
yeah, most of the stuff's my own material. That's something I realized whenever I was studying Zen for a while. So I realized that I was confused, and that was all right. And then I realized that the only people that have a hard time are the people that don't realize they're confused. Oh, damn your internal frame, Mel. Like, seriously, you're like, just stick your head right in my way, you don't even know. So unaware. You make the ultimate plower. You're almost doing it again. Like I'm even talking to you, you're almost like getting in the way again. So that's whenever I realized that was the best way for me to explain it. Is that, I mean, you have to understand though, my type is, did I give that back to you, Kevin? Let me show it again. My type lends me to create processes and analogies from the things that I understand. So I'm an ENTP, options, difference, external frame guy. This is my map, you know. Because I have an external frame, I'm constantly looking for feedback from other people. Because I'm a difference guy, I'm asking myself how this is different. I'm a fast learner. Operations guy, I create systems, which is what you're seeing, in order to help me in the future. Perceiver, instead of a judger, which means I'm constantly reading. Thinker, which means I'm up here instead of right here. So that makes sense. Intuitive, which means I see big picture stuff, which is the big picture concept. And extrovert, which just means that I'm awesome. I'm kidding.
That's a ton of information there.
Yeah.
All the different ways each one relates to another thing, and I couldn't
Yep.
get all that down.
That's okay. That's okay. We have,
When you go back and put it all together and have one, it's a lot of stuff.
it is. This is that's why this is Hack Yourself, because that's what today's about. It's about all the things. I knew it was going to overload everybody. I knew that was going to happen. But it's so important that you guys get this information, you know, and you'll be able to review it later on and really understand it later. I mean, it can't all hit you at once. You can only process so many things. I think we passed that threshold about 4 hours ago.
Is that where you start? Like you learn that, and you start to learn that. That's where you start. And then
You can start wherever.
if you don't understand
Yep.
that, then how do you move on?
Well, you move on. No, you're just moving your head right in the way every single time. The worst people ever to be up front are two internal frame guys in the front of the room.
Like this, you can do more things, you can do multiple things at once.
You can. I mean, it depends on what your strength is, you know? You're probably saying that because, let me just look at your guy here. And you didn't know if, did you decide that you were a thinker instead of a feeler? Is that what you did?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and then in options, difference, and internal. So, so for you, since you're difference
I feel like I need to understand something
perceiver,
before I can move on, but then at the same time, there's no goal.
well, there is a goal, ultimately with this, but the goal is to realize how you naturally think. That's the only goal. I know that a lot of other goals. I know what you're doing right now is you're assimilating. You're an NTP type, so am I. You're an NTP operations difference guy. So we have a lot in common. I'm an NTP operations difference guy too. See that? That entire pattern in the middle is our how do I apply this to other things model. That's what we do. All the combination of all these things go, how do I apply this to stuff? So you are doing like 50 things more than I'm asking you to do right now, because that's what I do too. That's why you're getting tired. So I have, but all I want you to do right now is look at this and realize that this is, I know it's hard to stop thinking so much and stop being so forward thinking and applying it to everywhere else. You have plenty of time to do that. But just look at this and realize this is how I view everything. I view everything through these limitations and through these strengths. All of them. Always, always do this. Now, I can work on this and it will change over time. But that's the only goal. The only goal right now is to realize that there is a place that you fit. And there's a reason why you've had a harder time doing some things that other guys are good at. There's a reason why you're good at some things that guys have a really hard time with. There's a reason. There's a place for you to teach the opposite type of people how to be more like you. In every aspect of life, there's a place for you to do that. And the more acute your sensor is for recognizing the different parts of you, like these different elements, the more you can teach people. So I can teach internal framers how to have an external frame. I can do that because I have an external frame. Could I teach external framers how to have an internal frame? Probably, but it'd be a lot harder for me. But if I didn't know that, I'd probably just try to teach a bunch of people how to be me, which is what I did before. That's not the best way to do it. Adonis? Yeah?
So like in field, there's certain guys that, the extroverts, they start the night, that first hour, they're like bam, 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 and then it hits that second hour, and then they're like doing amazing things. I think the introverts at the beginning of the night, they need to like chill out, I guess you're saying.
Introverts end up doing this with a drink and standing
But in
there.
a way they need that, you're saying.
Well, they do, but not that. They do need a way to replenish and hold on to their willpower. That's what that goal is when they do that drink guarding and they're standing there in a chode crystal, we call it. A bunch of dudes standing around in a crystal.
You call that chode crystal?
Chode crystal. And the bad thing about chode crystal is that
I think you're too
if you walk by it, it will suck chodes into it. It grows. So you get a growing chode crystal in the bar. You don't want to be a part of that growing chode crystal.
Choding escape velocity.
So, so the idea, besides the chode crystal, is that you have to have a different outlet for a way to, if you're an introvert and you want to go out to a bar, you have to have a way to replenish yourself instead of trying to reserve all your willpower, which is what you're doing when you're standing around doing nothing. I have to reserve it, got to reserve it, got to reserve it. And then in the night, you end up spending all your willpower trying to reserve it. It's like, boo. Then you have nothing left. And you want to go home. Then it's like, excuse processes kick in. I'm tired. I'm hungry. It's too dark in here. I can hear myself think. My feet hurt. I don't know. I can think of a whole bunch of other really dumb ones that I've heard. I've heard really dumb excuse processes, like not logic at all. At all. Every girl in here is ugly. There are no girls in here.
Yeah.
There are no girls in this place? Really? There's a lot of transvestites here then. They're all hot. I guess that's what's going on if there are no girls here. So, speaking of fieldwork, let's go ahead and talk about what fieldwork is for the evening. Transvestite game. Go. 1, 2, 3, go. not. So, what we got here? All right. So the goal for this evening for field work, we're going to start at 9. Stay tuned before we're going to clean up here and everything, but stay tuned for a location. We're going to meet back here at this spot outside in front at 9. Okay? So it's not enough time for you to really go home and like chill that much unless you're staying someplace nearby. If you want to go sleep on a bag of trash, you might guess. But there's not a whole lot of time to go run around because we went later. I did skip over a section, by the way. But luckily, I don't really care because I can just talk about it tomorrow. So I'll probably move that one to the last day. So tonight, your goal is to have a good time. Now, I want you to be aware, again, the introverts in the house, Nick, who else? Milton, you're not? No? Adonis? There's one over there, okay? Probably. And Matt. And Jonathan, you're not coming out tonight, are you?
Well, depends on where you guys are going. I'm actually going out. You guys are welcome to join with my buddy Rob Judge. Does anybody know Rob?
There's Bobby.
Yeah. He's kind of a crazy extrovert. He's awesome. Really fun guy. So we're gonna probably go up to the house and terrace a little bit later. I'm meeting somebody for drinks at Nash, but we'll figure out a way to connect. Where are you
Okay.
thinking of going?
I don't really know, but I was...
But I would say, I know where you're going with this. If you're an introvert. I mean, I'll tell
Right.
you what, everything you're talking about, I have all these things. Like, I realize, like, nap a lot,
Mhm.
spend some time by myself,
Mhm.
really recharge, then I can go out and, like, the best game I've had recently was after, like,
Kevin.
4-hour-long naps on a train ride back from Montreal.
Yeah?
I was on fire that night.
Mm-hmm.
I, like, slept the whole night before, and then I slept 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So I can empirically validate
Yeah.
what you're saying, and that's very much true. So
You know, I think that a lot of people, when they look at a lot of relationship experts and relationship gurus, they expect that the relationship gurus are all extroverted, and they're not. In fact, a very large number of them are really introverted. Really introverted, and a large number of them are introvert judgers, which are the exact opposite side.
It's crazy. Because I used to tell people specifically, I was like, look, you got 2 or 3 hours before you go out. Don't just sit around, talk to some people. That's what I do.
Yep.
You know, like right now, I'm going to get on the phone right now and I'm going to talk to a few people because I'm
Yep.
exhausted.
Yep.
Some people can't understand that.
Right, well, some people can't understand that. I love how you're so inside your own head and you can't even realize that those some people are introverts and they don't understand it because that's not true.
And I feel bad now. I feel bad. Because
Oh, no, it's, whatever. That's because you didn't realize that you were in a labyrinth. You thought it was a hallway. You didn't realize you were confused about that. But now you do. I'm here to make you realize that you suck. I'm looking for your number twos.
So much pressure to be extroverted.
There's a lot of pressure, especially within this. If you've been stuck in this industry or the community or got caught up in a bunch of guys who are really active and growing, there's a lot of pressure to become extroverted. Do not give in to that pressure. Don't do it.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to become extroverted, you'll work on it over time, and it will take a while, and it's going to take you a while. It's going to if you are an introvert.
Except to do it like in increments.
Right. One step at a time. So your goal tonight, if you're an introvert, is to take note of the extroverts. Watch the extroverts and watch how they act. Be very, very noteworthy of this. I mean, if you want to take something with you and write down traits that you see extroverts doing. Extroverts are going to be better at nighttime than you are, so watch what they're doing. Typically they're going to be, unless you've worked on it. Extroverts, your goal tonight is to watch the introverts. Take note of what makes an introvert tick. Why are they sitting by themselves? Why are they hanging out? Why are they having tight-knit conversations? Why are they doing this? And recognize that people naturally draw energy from this. Okay? Those are your goals. All you have to do is pay attention and try to recognize not only introverts within our group, but try to recognize introverts in the real world out there, outside of this class. Try to recognize try to type people. You're an introvert, you're an extrovert. Just those one, don't just that one thing. Don't go introvert, intuitive, Like I totally would. Like I know Matt's probably gonna be doing. He's gonna be like 2 minutes after getting there, he's gonna be like cross-eyed. Ah. You'll get it though. You know that if you're persistent, you'll get to it though. You will. You just have you need a structure. Are you a J? No, you're a P. So you're lost. You're a lost cause. You're operations guy. I'm a P operations guy too though. You have to create your own structure. You have to. So the goal is to have fun in your own way. You're not supposed to be pushing yourself to go crazy. Have fun in your own way. Again, don't get wrapped up. I know this is field work. You're thinking, I gotta go meet women. I gotta go meet women. No, if that's not fun for you, don't do it, dude. Don't do it. Go to a bar and hang out. Have fun. All right. We're gonna be all at the same place probably. I want to split up the introverts and extroverts, but not for today. Today we're all gonna go to the same place most likely. You guys will know where that is when we meet here at 9 o'clock. If you're late at 9 o'clock, Kevin right now is going to pass down a piece of paper that is blank. Everyone's going to write down their name and telephone number. If you're late, we're going to post this on 4chan. I'm kidding. Nerd joke, only a couple people got it. The reason why you're going to work on having fun is because if you have a space of having fun around you, even if you're alone or in small groups or whatever, if you're having fun, you will draw women into you. Women will be naturally drawn into your group. If it's a small group, that's fine. And you're going to accept them in this group. That's your goal. Before you go into a bar atmosphere to meet women, you must learn how to have fun there in your own way. Yep.
You're doing the creative value scale philosophy, right?
What's that?
6 to 10 value scale thing.
That's the thing I skipped today. I'm going to add to that.
Oh, really?
Yep. Because that would take forever. I'm going to move it to the last day, though.
Really good.
So I'm going to move that to the final day. Let me just go ahead and do that. Guys, go ahead and write that. Write your information down on there. Let me just do this. That's better suited for the meta class anyway, because it's an overlying communication concept, which is where I want it to be. So I'm going to put it way back here. Whew. Okay, before you guys get ready to go, who learned something today that's going to change the way they look at things forever? Raise your hand. Okay, what I want you to do is I want you to write that down before you start packing up. Write down the thing that will change the way you look at things forever. Write it down. I know you probably had a lot of insights today. I know that I did, and this is the distilled version of that, so I know that you're getting concentrated awesome.